FC Bayern Munich, champions of Europe. Hello everyone, welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Look, this is an exciting video. I've been meaning to do this for a while because I've been seeing a lot of these videos going around about how Bayern Munich's chances of the Champions League, the Champagne League, back in full fruition. How Bayern's chances could be potentially lessened because of the fact that we don't play a professional game of football after the final on the 4th against Bayer Leverkusen. By the way, 4th of July, America's birthday. Happy birthday to the USA. USA. All right, make sure also we've hit, we're at 1,000 subscribers. So thank you all so much for actually subscribing and keeping in touch with the community. I mean, we're building something here. This is a community. It's not even my channel at this point. It's not even my opinions. It's your opinions. This is where us Bayern fans can retreat, come together, and share our thoughts and enjoy our club together. So thank you all so much for being here. Make sure you subscribe, and if you haven't, share these videos, man. I would really appreciate it if you did, because it shows me that, hey, you think this video is good and you're gonna share it with someone. So I appreciate you for getting us to that goal. But let's talk about this Champions League thing. So by the 4th of August, UEFA has said that that's when every single team that's going into the next season's Champions League and Europa League, that's where they have to be registered. They have to be confirmed. That's the deadline. So I think the Premier League ends on the 26th of July, and then La Liga ends before that, maybe 2 days before. I'm not exactly sure. Someone correct me. And Serie A should end on the 1st of August. So it looks like Bayern is at a huge disadvantage because technically we don't play a game after August 1st. Way into like August 8th or 7th or 9th. That's when we actually have to play Chelsea. But people are forgetting that these are footballers. They're trained to be playing football week in, week out. They're not going to forget their technical ability. Kimmich isn't just going to forget how to score a goal from outside the box. Goretzka's not going to forget how to make a tackle. Thiago's not going to forget how to make a dribble. It's not going to happen. People just don't see that. But I do get it, though. We will not be as match sharp, but we have Chelsea to then again prepare us for that. But like I was saying, the Premier League and all these other leagues will end by August the 1st. But before that, Bayern, after the 4th of July final versus Bayer Leverkusen, will go on a 10 to 12 day break. I think it's 12 days now because that's what Hansi Flick said, I think. That's under 2 weeks. The players will get 10 days off. And that would prepare them, they can do whatever they want with their families. They can stay at home if they want, catch the coronavirus and, send the season into abysmality, into the void. I don't know, whatever. But they come back. They have 2 weeks to prepare for Chelsea. Now, Chelsea should have their season completed by July the 26th. Bayern players will be back in training a few days before that. They'll be training for Chelsea. And depending on how Chelsea's season ends, that's how they'll play. If Chelsea's season ends on a high, they have a lot to play for. They'll want to pride and show that, oh, we can do it too. We can get up against Bayern Munich. We can show this Bayern team. They'll want to demoralize us. No one wants to be losing to the team that goes on to win it. Chelsea will want to beat us. I don't think people think Chelsea are just going to lay off, back turned, and let us put it in. No, they're going to actually try and play us. So I think Chelsea's a great preparer. But before that, Bayern will have to play friendlies between Bundesliga clubs. You don't think Bayern and Leipzig can ask each other, hey, make sure you play friendlies because we're two Bundesliga clubs in the Champions League. Maybe let's play between each other because we're the only ones that are actually preparing for the Champions League. Bayern might ask Leverkusen in the Europa League, hey, we want Kai Havertz. Let him play against us. Have a friendly between us. Let's see if we can stay match fit. And these players will stay fit. And also, guess what? Bayern has players returning from injury. We have Coutinho coming back, Niklas Süle coming back, Corentin ready to tango listo coming back. You have these players coming back. You have all of a sudden much more depth. You have a much higher morale in the squad after winning the league and the DFB Pokal, hopefully. By the way, Leverkusen isn't going to play the DFB Pokal like any league game. They're going to want to win that. The DFB Pokal is a trophy. They're in the final. They'll play the occasion. And if we're not ready, we will lose the DFB Pokal. It's not like we're a perfect team. But like I'm saying, Bayern, of course, you can say, oh, in the general perspective, in the general scope of things, we could be at a disadvantage because our players don't play for a whole month and a half almost. whole month. Let's say a whole month, because technically July 4th and then August 8th, that's, just around a month and 4 days. Bayern don't play for that long. And yeah, it's a disadvantage, but these are professional footballers. We're not favorites because of the form on the pitch. No, that's not only the thing that makes us favorites. Yes, form is important, like it should be in any situation. But the most important reason why we're favorites is because of our tactics. Hansi Flick has us playing a dominant style of football. We can change gears. Gnabry is a big game player. Lewandowski is motivated, right? What team has players in their squad like Thiago and Lewandowski, who have never won a Champions League at Bayern, will want to do it? Lewandowski's up for a Ballon d'Or and a Golden Boot. You don't think he wants to win the Champions League to prove himself further? So the motivation aspect of it makes us favorites too. Muller's coming out talking in not an interview, like he was communicating with the Bayern staff, thanking them for this season. The staff was, clapping the players as they should, because these players are ballers. But behind the scenes, the Bayern staff is so important. But Muller was saying, hey, when's the Champions League final? They said the 23rd, and Muller said, we'll see you here on the 24th. I think that's the mentality that Bayern's going into the Champions League with. We're not going in it to get as far as possible into the semi-finals. Our board may say that to avoid a situation where we actually get slapped up. But winning the Champions League at Bayern Munich, all of a sudden, all of Germany has 10 Champions League trophies altogether, I think, because Hamburg has like 2 or something. I don't know. All of a sudden, Bayern have won 2 Champions Leagues, or 6 not 2, or well 3 actually, because we only won in 2001, 2013 only. That's a freaking accomplishment. Not many teams can only win 2 Champions Leagues in 20 years. That's actually a big accomplishment. But for a team like Bayern, obviously you expect us to be winning it every single year and getting to the final at least 5 times a decade. But winning the Champions League is so important to Bayern as a club. Why would Kai Havertz choose to come to Bayern if Man City win the Champions League and he could go to City, or PSG win the Champions League and he could go to City, PSG? Look, we need to win it. Like, we have to, man. Look, we're going on 8th, we are on 8th. We're not going. We're on 8th Bundesliga titles in a row. Since 2013, we've won it every single year because of our competence as a club and the difference in mentality between those who challenge us. We will be called a Farmers League if we don't win the Champions League playing like this. We're not winning this Champions League because everyone's just crap. Man City isn't that bad of a team. Actually, they're one of the best teams in the world on paper. But they have Pep Guardiola as their manager, and we all know he'll bottle it. But for me, I'm looking at the general scope of things, and I think Bayern's players, Bayern's board, the club wants to win the Champions League. I bet you those staffers that have been here for 7 years want to see us do it again. Do you know how successful you will get? Just a little bit. You will get so much success. Bayern's been living off of the Champions League title that we won in 2013. So is Dortmund, the little semi-final they got. That's how important the Champions League is. And I also think, here's another factor that no one's considering. The Champions League won't be behind closed doors. There's no way. First of all, did anyone predict 3 months ago that we would have football back now and everything would be actually looking smooth and no one's catching the virus and there's actually procedures in place to keep these players fit and healthy? No one predicted it, but we have the leagues now. Every single league is back. England hit hard. Italy, Italiano. Italy hit hard. France, Le Français hit hard. And all the leagues are back except the French league. I mean, why is no one talking about why PSG would be at a disadvantage? Because they haven't played a game for 4 months and they're all of a sudden just going to jump into the Champions League and do it and win a treble. I don't know. It's not going to happen. But you get my point, right? I think there will be fans because, look, UEFA's president said, I'm looking at UEFA's website right here. I'm actually looking at their genuine procedures. I'm going to pull it up, actually. I'm looking at UEFA's genuine procedures for this. And, hold on. So, let's zoom in here. This is cool. So, according to UEFA and the UEFA medical protocol, and matches behind closed doors, UEFA will be regularly assessing the situation across the continent and will liaise with local authorities, especially in Portugal, because that's where it's taking place, to see when spectators could gradually return to stadiums. Come on! The key principles of the UEFA medical protocol were also approved on Wednesday, and to ensure that a thorough sanitary plan be put in place to protect the health of all participants to UEFA matches when the competition resumes. That's exactly my point. There's a genuine opportunity for Bayern to have fans, the Allianz Arena fans, in the Champions League. It's going to be an amazing feat. Now, does anyone not know this? Portugal is a country of 10 million. They want tourists. They'd want to be the first European country to have fans in stadium. Well, not Europe, I mean other European countries, you know, your Eastern European countries who don't give a crap about their freaking health. They're just there jumping around in stadiums and they don't even care who Sirona is. They don't care. They're just there jumping and they're shirtless, no shirts on, just because they can and they want to and they feel like it. But in terms of the modernized Europe that everyone cares about, because no one cares about Eastern Europe, no one's going there to live. But that part of it, Portugal, Spain, why would Portugal not want all the tourists? Imagine 70,000 people travel to Portugal for the Champions League final. Obviously not all going to be just for the, from Germany and from, let's say it's Man City Bayern Champions League final or PSG Bayern. Let's say PSG Bayern, because outside of the two teams, PSG and City, PSG are better for me. I mean, imagine Atalanta get to the final. Oh, we'd have the easiest final in the history. Let's say it's PSG Bayern Munich. And 30,000 French people leave and go to the stadium. And more Bayern fans do because we have more fans than PSG. Yo, why would Portugal would make so much money just off one event? I'm hearing these countries making millions upon millions, and these hotels millions upon millions. Portugal, why would UEFA pick Portugal out of all locations that they could have picked? Because Germany applied for it. You don't think UEFA think and know that Germany has better stadiums and better atmospheres, and if it was to be played behind closed doors, Germans would technically be more effective at everything? I mean, look at how Germany's handled this. They literally, I watched a video, they have zones of where people have to be, staffers have to be. They have limits on the amount. They measured everything. Too much detail. So with that, they should have picked Germany, but UEFA did not. It wasn't like they put a pot and said Portugal, Germany, Portugal. No. They assessed, we want fans in the stadium, and they were like, hey, we don't want a Champions League in history with no fans. That's going to be stupid. So they probably thought to themselves, where's a country that we can play? And they asked Portugal, hey, we could potentially want fans in the 23rd final, 24th, whatever it is, in August. Do you allow fans? Are you going to allow fans to be in the stadiums? And Portugal will probably be like, yeah, sure. This is my point, man. I think there's genuinely a shout for fans in the stadiums, especially in a match, especially the Champions League finals. At least the semifinals will have fans. And I don't know about the final, but I mean, people are protesting all together in compact areas. Yeah, somehow the rate of affection has not gone up. How is that? That's crazy to me. But I don't know why I dwelled on that topic. I just care. I think it plays a huge part in it because fans are such a huge part of just this sport, this football, this soccer. Let me piss off some Europeans. Soccer. Pissing off Europeans on a daily. That's what I do. But you think about it from the general perspective, I think there'll be fans. But this will make Bayern more excited to get to it. Bayern fans have waited 7 years, especially the ones that went to the 2013 final in London. 7 years to be in a Champions League final again. You think Bayern fans are going to be like, yeah, let's stay home. And that's a little bit of why we're still favorites. Because we have such a fan base that want it. Oh, how Bayern fans would be so unbearable after we win the Champions League. I will talk about it every single day for 2 months. You will hear me say Champions League in every single video at least 50 times. We won the Champions League. Yeah, Champions League. It proves that we're the best. I will say it all the time. It will live in your head. I mean, if we don't win it too, God, oh, they're coming for us on this channel. They're coming for us. But another amazing just thought in my head, man. I'm amazing. No, seriously, people have to realize that football is not just about form. If it was about form, Atletico Madrid should have never won to Liverpool. I think a lot of the times it has to do with motivation and just that grit. Bayern do have it. We have a spine now. Under Guardiola, we never had a spine. Real Madrid could just pop up at our stadium and beat us easily. But I feel like if we were to play Real Madrid in their prime with this Bayern team, we are spanking them because we have a spine. They could come at us all they want. Imagine this. We are winning the Bundesliga, and the day after we win 3-1 against a team we don't need to beat to do anything. Those 3 points don't mean crap. You know what Kimmich came out after the game and said? Kimmich said, we don't want to drop our form just because we won the league. That's exactly what the mentality in Bayern is doing to our players. It makes them so mentally tough. And I think if people think that just having a few months off or a whole month where you're not playing competitively is going to ruin that form, ruin that mentality, you're stupid. Bayern will not be at a disadvantage in the Champions League. Yes, we might be less match sharp, but there's different factors of it that make us favorites. For example, we play fantastic football. We are good at breaking teams down. So if we were to play Atletico Madrid, we are clapping them. Atletico aren't even as good as defensively as they've always been. We would absolutely outpass the crap out of them. And we would have the spine. We're winning all these games, yet we're also the best pressing team in all of Europe's top 5 leagues. We are on top, out of sight. No one sees us. We are so good at pressing. The players we have are motivated. Kimmich says, my goal at Bayern is to win the Champions League. When he wins the Champions League, he'll be like, my goal at Bayern is to win another Champions League. Think about it. Not that many players in Bayern have won 2 Champions Leagues since 2001. Yeah, actually, no player. There was no player in 2001 that won it in 2013. I don't think. Maybe one. I don't know. I wouldn't know. But I don't think that's happened. What Bayern player wouldn't want to win the Champions League twice? Maybe Bayern has the ambition to dominate this decade, and winning the Champions League this year is such a big part of that. Maybe Bayern wants to attract Sani and Havertz and all these players even more, and winning the Champions League is part of that. Maybe Bayern Munich want Pogba at some point, and winning the Champions League is part of that. Not that we want Pogba. But I think this has been an amazing video. Thank you all so much for 1,000 subscribers. We're constantly growing. Make sure you share the videos. Leave a like on it and tell me your thoughts in the comments. I always am interested in reading from all of you. Thank you all so much for watching this. Mia-san Mia and peace. Look, this is dedication. This is like the 10th time I've actually recorded this video, but I kept messing up. So, because today has been a weird day. It's been a weird day, but thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia-san Mia and peace.